Okay, so I've calmed down considerably a lot from when you saw me in the Deltarune reaction and the Nintendo Direct reaction. I've calmed down a lot, throat's feeling better, stuff like that, so we can actually go ahead and probably look at this and analyze what the fuck this means. Because already we're getting symbolism of flowers, which makes sense. It makes sense if you're going up from chapter 4. Yeah, this makes sense if you're going off of chapter 4, with the stuff about Asgore and him being the Flower Man trapped in an asylum, him having like a shard of some sort, like a black glass shard of some sort. We don't know what the fuck that's going on with, but what's interesting here is it's a golden flower. Now, we know a lot about golden flowers in Undertale and Deltarune. In fact, there is only one golden flower that we know in Undertale that has not made an appearance in Deltarune yet. And I say yet because I do think that he will appear at some point. More on that later, because oh my god, it's gonna be crazy, insane, even. But for now, there's one flower that we have not seen in Deltarune yet that doesn't know until, and that's Flowey. And again, I'll get to that in a little bit. I want to go ahead and analyze a bit of this first. So, first off, we get music from Insane in the Rain, which is fucking fantastic. Good on him for doing the teaser trailer music here, because it's fucking awesome. So, new enemies are given. These look like rodents. These look like flower versions of the rodents that we see in chapter 1. So, I do like their design a lot. I also like this with the super Nubert, Trashy, and whatever the fuck this guy's going on here. So, already, we have two fights where we see enemies from previous Dark Worlds. If we go back here, these are style out there rodents that we saw in chapter 1. We have Nubert, which was in chapter 2, and Trashy, which is in chapter 2. What you trying to say, Toby? What are you trying to say here, man? Also, random snippet from chapter 3, or chapter 2. Chapter 2 up here, and another chapter 3 scene here. Why? Why are you showing us this again? I don't understand why you're showing us this again. What is going on here? We haven't really seen this at all in chapter 3. What is this? What are we doing here, Toby? Okay, let me see this. So, another enemy that we have not seen yet. Design looks awesome. This definitely feels like it's going for like a flower field kind of thing, which kind of makes sense with the whole idea of it being an Asgore-centered chapter. Might mean that it's a Dark World and Flower King. Could also mean that there's a Dark World happening in Hometown itself, because there's gonna be a bunch of flowers in Hometown, and about the Flower Man trapped in asylum. That could be taken a couple ways. But yeah, these designs look awesome. Chapter 5 is waiting. Okay, so we have this, like, white pen right here. Now, I don't know what the white pen symbol is, because I haven't really, like, delved too deep into whatever the fuck this is, but something interesting is happening here. Let's take a look at take a look at a couple things here. So, Deltarune Gallery Prophecy. I need the thing here. Okay, so couple interesting things here to note. Gallery is kind of reminiscent of this, which is shown off in the room with all the statues and stuff, which is kind of interesting, maybe? Like, could potentially mean something here, but the bigger one that I have here, and the one that I'm scared of the most is this roots thing. Because there's a fuller image of that shot from the trailer somewhere. I don't know if it was added to Steam yet, but I do know that it's on Go Nintendo, so if it's not on Steam, then I'll go into Go Nintendo and then we can look there. Okay, yeah. So it's not gonna be on their Go Nintendo Deltarune because it's not on the page just yet. Okay, so we get a couple new teasers here. We get this one, and okay, we'll look at that later. We'll look at all that later. I'm just kind of frazzled right here. Big thing right here, and I didn't notice it until someone pointed it out. This is the Omega Flowey attack. This is the attack, one of the attacks, that Mega Flowey does in Undertale for one of the soul, like, saving things. Like, calling for help segments in the Omega Flowey fight. There's no enemy on the other side of the screen. And Chris is fighting solo. So, this is what I mean by I think that we're gonna see Flowey back. I don't think that Flowey is going to be an Undertale only character. I have a feeling that he is going to come back in some way, shape, or form here. Especially if the Flower King is a Dark World, because all those flowers are in there. You know, we have the 7 different colored flowers that are in there. Maybe they become 7 different Dark World entities or beings or whatever, and one of them is Flowey. You know? Maybe one of those is Flowey. Oh, Christ. I don't know what I'm going to do if we have an Omega Flowey fight in Deltarune. I will lose my shit if we have an Omega Flowey fight in Deltarune. Like, that much is given. Like, I am going to lose my shit. You can come back to this video in, like, 2 weeks when I get there, and you can compare my reaction to this now to when it actually happens. I think that this is an Omega Flowey fight. I'm calling it right now. I think that this is in some way, shape, or form either a direct Omega Flowey fight or a really, really strong reference to the Omega Flowey fight. So, it's awesome. Anyway, we have this thing right here. Someone noticed, this, hold on, can I, like, go back to it? Oh, let me go back to this. So someone noticed this thing back here. I don't have my mouse on screen here, so let me go ahead. Yeah, let me do that. Okay, so we have this little thing right here. Like, what is this? Who is this? Apparently they have, like, a couple frames of animation. Oh, yeah, they do. Uh-huh. Yeah, they do. Look at them. Look at them right here. Right there. They have, like, they have an animation. So I wonder who that is. I wonder what that is. If it's going to be, like, an NPC, or if it's going to be one of the enemies that we have to fight, or it's going to be like some sort of like companion on our adventure through whatever this dark world is. We have a swamp area here. More on that swamp area in a little bit. Also, someone pointed out, way down here, at the edge of the roof, is a flower. Flowey, can you stop being everywhere? Thank you. Anyway, this art's awesome. June 24th, so that is literally like 15 days. And I didn't get my thoughts across properly in the direct, but I'm telling you this right now, we will be doing streams of Deltarune to set up proper saves, okay? I do not care how long it takes me. I will be setting up proper saves for Deltarune so that we can play Chapter 5 thoroughly and completely and properly. And I don't know how long that will take me. I don't know if it'll run into Chapter 5's release. It could. There's potential that it could. I don't know. But, just saying. That could potentially happen. And 8-4 is doing the Switch 2 one. Of course, it's on the Switch 1 and 2. Awesome. Now, we get to the Deltarune Chapter 5 release date announcement newsletter. Because I bet you Toby was waiting for this moment. I bet you Toby was waiting to release this as soon as that trailer dropped. So, Deltarune Chapter 5 release date announcement newsletter. Sorry to keep you waiting. He probably saw us freaking out about no newsletter and was like, okay, listen, I'm sorry that I kept y'all waiting this whole time, but it's for a good reason. Deltarune Chapter 5 will launch simultaneously worldwide on all platforms on June 24th at 11 a.m. EDT. In the morning! Yippee! Yahoo! For more information, check DELTARUNE.com. And interestingly enough, if we go to DELTARUNE.com, it's been changed. There's blue flowers everywhere. There are a bunch of blue flowers everywhere. Okay? It's awesome. And they have the Chapter 5 announcement right there. I'll send another newsletter when it's out. So we have another date for a newsletter. We have a confirmed date for a newsletter in 15 days when Chapter 5 comes out. Okay? So we won't have to wait long for another newsletter. Not that long, at least. We won't have to wait like 2-3 months for another newsletter. That shit's dropping in 15 days when Chapter 5 drops. Here's the announcement show. If you miss it, I did not miss it. I watched on stream. It was awesome. I want to surprise people playing the chapter for the first time, so I avoided showing the most exciting moments, which is the opposite of what you should do in the trailer. Yes, it is the opposite of what you should do in the trailer. Some games just plaster spoiler, just everywhere. So, I think the fact that he used, footage from chapters 2 and 3 kind of implies to me that he did not want to show anything from Chapter 5, or really anything from Chapter 5. We only got those couple of glimpses of Chapter 5, but nothing big or insane or stuff like that, So, that was good on him. W. Toby. By the way, the trailer was made by Everdrade. The trailer music was performed in arranged by Carlos Insane the Brain Ain, whatever. And the end art was by Temmie, of course. Temmie, the GOAT, awesome artist. And like I said before, Insane in the Rain, fantastic musician, fucking awesome jazz arrangement of Don't Forget. Awesome. What kind of chapter is Chapter 5? In Chapter 4, we saw dark clouds on the horizon. That's why let's not look there for now. Let's turn around and watch the sun before it goes down completely. Let's smile again. Let's have one more fun adventure, okay? The wording here scares me. Because let's have one more fun adventure leads me to believe that this chapter will be the last one that is haha funny, uplifting, upbeat, whimsical chapter, And that chapters 6 and 7 are going to be hell. Maybe even literally. in my opinion, it fits well in the overall story of the game, which probably does. You know, sunshine, the field of yellow and pink, friend, stuff like that. Chapter 6 progress update. So we're getting a progress update on Chapter 6 as well. Chapter 6 is developing well. Cutscenes and NPC interactions making good progress. Overall gameplay, we've created all the basic gimmicks of the chapter. Gimmick equals climbing, puzzle, etc. Now we need to create a few more rooms utilizing these gimmicks. Normal enemies and bullets, mostly complete. So a lot of the enemy attacks and stuff like that, pretty much done in Chapter 6 at this point. Boss and bullets. We're working on the bullets of the last battle of the chapter, which means that they've probably done bullets for every boss except for the final boss of the chapter, you know? This chapter is easier to make than the others, so the development is going quite fast. What does that mean? What do you mean that Chapter 6 is easier to make than the previous ones? What does that mean? Does that mean that it's going to be shorter than the other chapters? Does that mean that it's going to, like, blow us away? Are we going to get sucked off in this chapter? What the fuck? This sounds crazy, but it's not unrealistic that some staff members may start working on Chapter 7 before the end of the year. Which means progress is moving along really fast for this, which is awesome. But that also means, holy shit, we might be closer to the end of Deltarune than we could have thought. So I'm drinking. Fangamer also with merch that is newer and pluer than any before. Pluey? I've not actually looked at this merch yet. So, I want this. I want this Pluey clip-on plush. Oh my god. El Nino La Nino! El Nino! El Nino La Nino! Hey! So we have Real Card, we have the Cat Mike clip-on plush. I want this fucker. I want this motherfucker. I don't have anywhere to clip him to. But I want this motherfucker. You know, if I get this fucking job at the movie theater, I'm buying this shit. Okay, I don't fucking care. I'm buying a Cat Mike clip-on plush. I'm buying a Patak clip-on plush. What else do we have here? What else do we have here? They have vinyls? They have fucking vinyls here? Yo! These vinyls are fucking awesome, dude. Anyway, let's check out the new stuff here. Let's check out this Dark Sanctuary poster. Oh my god. Dude. This looks fucking awesome with the Roaring Knight kind of wrapping around, like, the stained glass of the church. Dude, Susie's doing a fucking Kamehameha out here. What's going on? Dude. The intricacies. Gerson, Jacking Sign, the Roaring Knight. Oh my god. Even some of the enemies. Yeah, even some of the fucking enemies, like the Gways, the sound stuff, the Bibliox. Dude. I be fucking. Ayo. I love this. This is awesome. This is so good. Conclusion. Sorry to keep waiting, but we still have to wait a little bit. And that's fine, you know? We have our date. That's fine. We can, relax a little bit. Now, I want to touch on a couple of things. Because we have this thing by Go Nintendo. And they've dropped a couple more shots that we have not seen from the trailer. And that are not on the Steam page for some strange reason, but I assume Toby is going to update that at some point. We have this shot. Everything is all decorated for the festival. We have Chris, Susie, and Noelle with us. Which is kind of not a surprise because we kind of figured that Noah would be with us for this, it being the festival and all. Noah's gonna be with us. Although, this does make things interesting because the weird route, the ending of chapter 4 is different between if you do a normal route and a weird route. The normal route has Susie break up San Santorio. And then Susie says some vague shit about, we're not gonna let that happen now, are we? And then Chris jumps out the window. But in a weird route, that doesn't happen. And instead, we get a call from Carol where she talks about how Noelle is happy and she wants to go with Chris to the festival. Ain't that fun? So I wonder if things are gonna be very different in a weird route. And if they are, how much different? Because I'm fucking scared. But, couple things to note here. The blue flowers in front of Papyrus' house. The ice creams here. Sans with the nice cream stand here. Everything looking all cool and awesome for the festival. Let's go to the next one here. So we get a clear image of this, like, sort of Japanese style building here. And this is what I wanted to look at, because when I was talking about the gallery stuff and how it was vaguely familiar with the gallery stuff, it's also vaguely familiar to Roots, which is the secret room in Chapter 4's, I think, the second or third sanctuary, that allows you to get the egg if you move in and out of it a number of times. This is the same room where where one of their philosopher followers says the phrase, "Lost where the fools will grow, the children follow the pointed tail," which is related to the Tale of Hell, which is commonly related to Friend, in that sense. So, is there gonna be friendisms here? Are we gonna have friendisms in Chapter 5? Especially in the Weird Route? And are we gonna finally see what Roots is in this chapter or a later chapter? Because I feel like this is going to be the final chapter where things are gonna progress like they always have, right? I feel like in chapters 6 and 7, he's gonna throw all of that out the window, and they're gonna be wildly different than what we've been seeing. So this may be the last chapter where we have this sort of like set sort of structure with it, or structure, I say very, very loosely, because that structure kind of broke away in chapter 3 and 4. Breaking out of our expectations of like, oh, Light World segment, and then Dark World segment, and then back to Light World segment. Chapter 2 was like, no, fuck that, we're only doing Dark World, and then Light World at the very end. And chapter 4 is like, you know what, let's have 3 different Dark Worlds at once. A Light World section, and then 3 different Dark Worlds. So what the fuck is gonna happen here? Are we gonna have another instance where there's gonna be more than one Dark World? Because we know for a fact that other people can make Dark Worlds. Susie made a Dark World, the Sanctuary. So it's entirely possible that someone else could make a Dark World. Who knows who could make a Dark World? Could be Noelle, could be Rudy, could be Asgore, for all we know. If I'm talking about the fucking Roots theory out here, which kind of entails that the entire hometown will be a Dark World. If you want more on that Roots theory, I did a reaction to the Roots theory a while back. You can go ahead and watch it if you want. But if we're going off of Roots theory, then it could be Asgore that makes the Dark World. Anyway, let's go to this other picture right here. Okay, so this is just the same photo that we've seen in the trailer. But, yeah, I mean, it's looking really fucking awesome. I mean, everything looks really good in this game. The quality has definitely went up more and more with each chapter. And chapter 1, and someone I follow on Twitch said this, and I agree with it. Chapter 1 works as its own little standalone chapter. Because Toby had no idea if it was gonna even go anywhere, if it was gonna like do really good numbers. So he made it as sort of like its own little self-contained thing. And then once he saw, oh shit, a lot of people played it and a lot of people liked it and enjoyed it, that's when he was like, you know what? We're gonna flesh out this. We're gonna create an actual story, make it good, make it awesome. You know, add a few things that were not in the original Chapter 1 release, and it'll be awesome. And this art from Temmie is fucking amazing. Temmie is an awesome artist. Everyone on this team are amazing at what they do. And I cannot wait for June 24th when Deltarune Chapter 5 drops. Because you best believe that I will be live on that day. I don't know how long we'll go that day, but I know for certain that it'll be in the long stream, just like when I did Chapter 3 and 4. There'll be long streams. Except this time I'll actually be able to, like, focus on things. So, yeah. How did I go for, like, 26 minutes? How was this 26 minutes? Like, dude, I have a lot to fucking yap about with Deltarune. Okay, so... yeah, that would be for me for Deltarune. I cannot wait to get to Deltarune Chapter 5. It'll be fucking awesome. It'll be great. It'll be cool. I just can't fucking wait. I don't want to scream because my throat's still kind of boxed. I did all my screaming in the direct reaction, which you can go react to or watch, because I uploaded little sections from it. I uploaded the Deltarune reaction as a separate video. I uploaded the KH4 reaction as a separate video, and I uploaded the OOT remake reveal as a separate thing. If there's any other like things that you want me to do, maybe I'll upload the Rhythm Heaven reaction as well. Maybe I'll upload that fucking One Piece Kairosoft game reaction, because that was fucking cool. But for bye. I can't speak. Goodbye.